Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
As always, guys, want to give everybody thanks for their support. Over on Patreon, there's actually a lot of different tiers there. Again, we each with different levels of benefits. And we want to thank you guys for your support there. Do check out evolutionaryenergyarts.com and discover more about us and what we do. There's a lot of information over there. And, you know, Cindy is a user of sacred tools. I do too. You know, I have for, I guess, about 40 years now, at least, if not more, really. And she got a meditation and information from the guides all about sacred tools.
So sacred tools, they definitely become part of us, especially if you have used them in ritual, if you've used them in ceremony, if you've used them for anything that has to do with spiritual. That tool usually bonds to its owner, and there's reasons for that. And sometimes they are passed down. God forbid, sometimes they might be stolen. That would be like worst case scenario. You never ever want to end up with something that's been stolen, because these beings, they can get very upset if they're not treated in a certain way. They like to be held in a certain way. They like to be talked to in a certain way. They're just like family members in your home. And
so, you know, again, talismans. We've seen this throughout history. You know, there's different traditions, you know, Native American tradition. We could look, you know, to Norse tradition, you know, the Hindu tradition. It doesn't really matter. We all have like different things that we'll utilize, and often it's coming from your environment. In this day and age, not always from your environment. I mean, you might have something that was given to you by a friend. We have some things that come from all over the world that have been given to us, you know, in gratitude from friends and family, as well as things that we've acquired in our ventures and travels that then mean a lot to you, a real lot to you. And so, you know, it becomes very important because there's a bond and a connection. Like I have a staff and a couple other items that go back to childhood. Those are really the only things I have from my childhood. I have like nothing else really with me. So they're very, very energy charged for me, and they're very important.
right. And, you know, I've acquired some things from a very, very special person, and they are also very important to me. And I do feel like they've all accepted me. I mean, the tools, that is, they've all accepted me. So if you acquire tools in a certain way, I think it's important to know where it comes from, especially you don't know if somebody down the line may have stolen it and then passed it to someone else. That could be problematic. So those are things you definitely want to watch out for. You want to watch out. You want to know that these tools, you know, if it's made for you, if you're the first owner, that's probably ideal. Or is it passed to you through a mentor? That would be ideal.
Or creating it yourself. Super powerful too.
Very, very really powerful. Or knowing who created it, you know, knowing that energy that created it. But throughout history, humans have crafted tools not just for physical use, but for connection with spirit. Drums, staves, chalices, blades, crystals, feathers, and statues. These objects are more than material things. They become vessels of intention, energy, and memory. So when a sacred tool has been used for ceremony, prayer, or healing, it begins to carry the imprint of its keeper, their prayers, their struggles, and their hopes. The frequency of the rituals it was part of, that's a really big deal. Like, what rituals were they part of? A relationship with unseen forces, ancestors, deities, and elemental spirits in which it served. So there's a couple of very important things in there that if you acquire a tool, there's a reasons why. Because look, you can get the other person's struggles if you acquire a tool and you don't know where it's coming from. So why some tools become unhappy. If such an item is lost or stolen, pawned, or sold, that energetic bond is disrupted. This can create tension with the object itself. mismatch of frequency. The new owner may not resonate with the tool's purpose, causing energetic disharmony. Attachment to the previous keeper. Some tools may still call out for their original guardian, and that would just be heartbreaking. Torment but restless energy. A tool that has not been honored, cleansed, or used may begin to radiate unsettled vibrations in a home. And I've seen this happen in some situations where the tools are not happy and they do start to create a situation and thus having to drain the tool of its energy. It's almost sad. It really is sad. It's like killing it. It's just, we live in a world where we think only animated objects have a soul, but that's not true. These other beings, they have a soul as well.
Well, ultimately, again, this goes back at the extreme to the whole legend of the golem, where you have this, figure made of clay that gets infused with life force and takes on a life of its own. Even if it's not really truly physical, yes, you can create an elemental type being by charging it and by using, especially with crystals, anything that has crystals on it, gets very, very amplified because crystals are conscious. They are consciousness itself, and they are amplifiers in different ways. So, again, it makes me think of so many different things. Like, again, the pharaohs, and not just the pharaohs, but in many different places, you have beings getting buried with relics, items, that were very important to them in life. And then you have grave robbers come that steal them and then suffer horrible consequences because, again, that is such a no-no in the spiritual realm. And so, this is unfortunately something that's happened throughout time. And, even when we inherit things, we have to be careful of the energies of objects, and really sense and feel, how does this object feel to me? Especially if you're somebody that goes to flea markets and tag sales and estate sales. If you see something that really hits you, like, with us, it might be a drum, a rattle. It could be even something that's going to hold the crystals, some sort of container. Really feel the energy of it, because if it's been in a particular person's hands or in a family for generations, it becomes very powerful.
It does, and it could be unsettled. It could be very unhappy if it's not with the one it wants to be with. So this is why some people feel strange disturbances. They can have bad dreams or accidents after bringing in certain ritualistic items. There are ways you can cleanse them, but I haven't seen that really. If the tool is unhappy, the tool is unhappy. So that's kind of how I see it, and it should probably be taken back to the place where it was gotten. That's just my opinion, if it's possible. All the tools that I have are tools that have been passed down for me from somebody I find to be very wonderful and beautiful. So I know where they have been. I know they originated there, and now they've been passed on to me. So, and they've all been very happy. So,
if for instance you do again, if you want to boost your tool, if you want to say create something for yourself like a wand or what have you, and again, we're planning on making our own line of tools like this in the future as time allows. You can absolutely, for the 3 days of the full moon, go put it out and have it charge under the full moon. That would be something that would be traditionally done before using it the first time. You could use a lot of different techniques. You could also charge it with the sun and solar light directly. It's stronger, but the full moon light is that sunlight indirectly as well. So yeah, there's a lot to it. Actually, but we just wanted to touch on this.
Yes, and sacred tools remind us of truth. These objects, they hold memory and they hold a story. So just as people need respect and care, so do the things that have served spirit for generations. When treated with honor, a sacred tool becomes an ally. When neglected or misused, it becomes restless. By listening, cleansing, and attuning, you step into a deeper way of living, where even the objects in your home becomes part of your spiritual community. And this is what we have. Everything we have is treated with great respect. It's honored, it's appreciated, it's thanked, it's charged, it's loved very much. And because it's our way of life, at least it's my way of life. Mike is strong enough. He doesn't need tools, but he still uses tools sometimes. Like he'll use a crystal when he works on someone to amplify his own energy.
Yeah. And like just yesterday, for instance, was a busier day. And at one point I was like, where did I put the crystal? Because if I feel myself getting drained without it, because it can amplify.
It does. It definitely amplifies. So tools are our friends, and be mindful of where you acquire yours. And, you can always make your own. And like Mike said, we are going to start making a line of tools and wands, and they will be coming from a place of love and understanding, and they would be charged and they would be activated. So just know where your things are coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. And believe in your ability to imbue them with life force, chi, and power and intent. Again, nothing is truly inanimate.
No,
it really isn't. I mean, whether we're talking about a guitar, a car, your lawnmower, nothing is truly inanimate, because it's the same at the subatomic level. It's the same elemental forces that come together and be, are created to be these things.
Indeed.
So this is why, it's not really crazy to name your car and talk to your car and say, you can do it. Keep us safe. Yes, it actually does help.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.